Hi, I'm Mike with Mortgage Inspection Services. I was recently working on a project at one of my rent houses, and while shopping for some electrical supplies, I ran across an electrical outlet that I had never seen before. It's by Leviton. It's called the Decora Edge. Now, this outlet is probably the simplest outlet I've ever installed in my life. It probably took less than a minute. Once you get the hang of it, you probably install them in about 30 seconds. They're so easy. I've done some research and I've found that this type of connector has been around in other parts of the world for maybe 30 or 40 years, but this is the first time I've seen one here in America. Now there's some pros and some cons to these, so this is not going to be an advertisement for these outlets. I want to show you the good and the bad about them. First, let me show you how they work. This is the outlet. From the front, it looks like any other electrical outlet. What's unique about them are these levers that lock the wires in place. You've got places for the two neutral wires under the white tabs. You've got a place for two black wires and then for your ground wire. You insert the wire, you close the tab, and the wires are locked in place. That's how you install these outlets. It's very simple. They also, like many other outlets, have a strip gauge right here. Tells you how long to strip the wire to put it in, because you don't want any of the insulation going into the hole and potentially interfering with the electrical connection. You also don't want any copper wire showing outside the hole. So the wire needs to be stripped to the proper length. So let me show you how easy it is to install one of these. I've already stripped wires using the strip gauge, but all you do, you insert the black wire under the black lever, the white wire under the white lever. Go ahead and click those closed. Install the bare wire, which is the ground, under the green. It's done. That's all there is to it. Now, I've never done this before, but I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to pull as hard as I can on this outlet and see if the wires come loose. I'm not sure how much force I'm putting, but I'm putting more than I think this outlet would ever experience under any normal circumstances. And those wires are not budging. So it seems like the connection is very secure. Let me show you a couple of other things about these. They're fairly minor, but they are benefits. You see these tabs here. They help you line up multiple outlets in like a 2 or 3 gang box, so that when you install them, they're perfectly spaced for your cover plate to fit on. That's certainly a benefit. These tabs are extra large, so if you've got a bigger hole in the wall, this will help the outlet to sit flush against the wall because of the bigger tab. Now, if you don't need it, this part just breaks off and it's the same size as a standard outlet. They're also, if you can see in the slots, there's a white shutter in there. These are tamper resistant. You can also see the TR here. To some people that's a pro, and to some people that's a con. It is a safety feature that prevents a child from sticking something like a key or a paper clip or a bobby pin into one of these slots and potentially getting electrocuted. But it can also be a big hassle, because sometimes it takes a lot of force to get something plugged into one of these things. You have to push really hard, wiggle it back and forth until you finally get it plugged in. So you can look at it as a pro or a con. Now, another thing, and I'll consider this a disadvantage or a con, is that these things don't have near the surface area of electrical contact. So let's look at a standard outlet. Let me grab one here. If you wrap your wire around this screw, you've got a large surface area where that screw and wire meet. And the larger surface area for a given amount of current, you have less resistance and therefore not as much heat buildup. And that's certainly a factor to consider. So let's take a look on this new outlet. I'll give you show you a blow up of the wire that I took out of this thing. You see a gouge in this wire where the clamp or the connector was holding this wire into the slot. So it seems like there's a pretty small surface area similar to, I'll just use this knife blade, that holds the wire in place. So you've got a small contact area, and because of that small contact area, these things have the potential to build up some heat. I am going to do an experiment with my thermal camera and running some current through these and seeing just how hot the wire gets. So that'll be the subject of my next video. So that's basically it. In summary, the biggest benefit of these are the speed and ease of installation. You also have the tabs to help you line them up properly if you have a multiple gang box to help the cover to fit perfectly. And you have the larger tabs or ears to help them sit flush against the wall. Those are your main benefits with these. The biggest con is you do have less surface area at the electrical connection point, which could result in some heat buildup. And again, as I said, we'll see just how much of an effect that has in my next video. I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful to you. If it has, please click that like button down below. Also, I sure would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. That way you can be notified when new videos come out. Thanks again.